Hey guys, Hyler Tamerlane back with more Obscurities and Miniatures, and I gotta say today's is pretty obscure because it's not really a big deal yet. Big thanks to my friend who hooked me up with his Adepticon promo. This is for Protos's, or Archon, I should say, Archon's new Starcide line. Starcide. This is the Legion of the Black Sun Necromancer. So, Archon is starting up a new big major war game that they want to get kickstarted in 2019, and I had contacted them about getting me hooked up with one of these, but they just didn't do it. And so I figured, you know what, then I'm just going to have to take the law into my own hand and get myself one. So since I don't live anywhere near where Adepticon was, that was kind of a problem, but you know what, hey, we made the best of it. So again, thanks for hooking me up, buddy. So here's what we got. Oh, we have an actual honest-to-goodness hard plastic kit for our Necromancer friend, with instructions no less. Cool. Color, I like that. Kind of set up like GW's. So it looks like about 10 parts. Not bad. Well, you can't judge a model by its parts, but let's take a look at them. So, first of all, I mean, let's be honest, it's not a GW kit, so it's not going to be as crisp right off the bat, but I gotta say, I can at least see where a lot of the details are. Let's see if I can get that zoomed in a little bit more clear so you can see like the souls of the undead kind of stitched into his cape there. Details on the gun look decent. Very chaosy. If you wanted to use it for a chaos sorcerer, this might not be a bad idea. I'm assuming that's his book that he's holding. I like the base. It's a weird cutout. I don't know if there's anything supposed to attach there since it's got kind of a skull head there. Sword for his belt, I believe. That goes on his back, I guess. And then his staff. Staff details are pretty nice. I mean, you can. It's not like you can't see or discern where anything is supposed to be. I'm quite interested in putting this together. I don't know why it gives me a bit of a Gene Stealer vibe. Kind of organic looking parts of the armor. So, pretty easy to identify contact points. I think this is his propellant tank or whatever on his back. So yeah, pretty cool. Looks to be about a 32 millimeter base. Let's see, I've got a... So 32, if that's a Primaris on it. Yeah, that's interesting. So, I'm going to grab the clippers. Why don't we see what he looks like then, yeah? Alright, so here is our finished Necromancer. So just to get a good idea on the height, we'll put our token Marines there. So he's a little bit more in scale with the traditional Marines. But, you know, he fits in okay. I mean, he's supposed to be kind of hunched over wizard dude. So let's take a bit better look at him. He isn't attached to his base yet. So he's got, you know, an interesting build here on his arm. So you have to attach, if I can keep him up, all right. You have to attach this spell book on a chain under his arm, and then the spirit coming out of the book attaches with his hand to his arm, and then the arm is actually attached to the shoulder pad, which is attached to his staff, and it all kind of interconnects together. In theory, that would be a great idea. In practice, it did not work out as well as it should, and I just made a big smushy mess trying to actually get everything straightened out there. And part of the reason was the contact points that connected everything together were kind of shallow and pretty small. So a suggestion for future, you know, if anybody from Archon is bothering to watch or listen, you might want to make sure, and especially on this arm, it kind of matched up easier on his gun arm and his head than it was with his staff and all this stuff. The contact points, probably if you could, I'd say go back in and deepen them up a little bit because they did not connect as well as they should. The overall detail isn't bad. I mean, it's obviously not as sharp as GW stuff yet, but then again, GW stuff wasn't always that sharp to begin with either. So I'm willing to give Protoss and Archon the benefit of a doubt, and we'll see how things turn out. Because obviously the detail is there, and if you've seen their renders that they usually show off before the final products come out, I mean, they're not bad. They really aren't. It's just, you know, this is, I think, their first actual hard plastic release. You know, I built them with plastic cement, the good old testers stuff. So that does bode well. And I think, honestly, if they want to get themselves into any kind of the war game situation, they're going to need to really you know, step up their game in regards to that. And with a bunch of other big contenders coming around, especially with like Parabellum's Conquest coming up, there's going to be a lot of competition for those hobby dollars in plastic. Maelstrom's Edge has, you know, been consistently putting out plastic kits. So it's something to keep in mind. But for its first trial run, I think Archon did a pretty good job. It's a lot more dynamic than a lot of the other stuff that I've seen that's been done in plastic, you know. Shield Wolf or Renedra or Mantix offerings tend to be pretty flat, but they also tend to be a little bit more modular in terms of how the pieces go together. So there is that to keep in mind as well. This is their first, and it's a character kit, so when their vampire sprue comes out, or when their Snake Man Naga sprues come out, and I'm going to nag them about sending me some if I had to buy some or order some or get them to ship me some, I'm going to do what I can because I really would like to get my hands on it. And I think there's some cool stuff coming down the pipeline from them. I really would like to see it myself. I've always enjoyed Archon stuff. They've never done me wrong yet, thankfully, knock on wood. And hopefully that continues. I'm very well aware of the situation with them, so we don't need to bring that up. But, you know, overall, a cool little figure. Definitely an Obscurity. I'm hoping to see him released when the actual game shows up, maybe in some kind of a varied form, maybe with an optional weapon hand. I don't know. But, you know, it's an interesting start, and we all got to start somewhere. So with that said, I am going to say my farewells, and hopefully you guys can check out some of our other Obscurities and miniatures, because there's plenty of other videos, and we're just going to keep on chugging them out. So, we will see you all later. Bye-bye.